Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It is Thursday, July 24th. Talk about Reddit and how my account got banned for 3 days because of a comment I made that was considered violent. If I'm being honest, I would still make that comment again. It was a girl was talking about how does she get her dad to stop pranking her, and like basically it was not a prank. What he was doing, he was like yelling at her and like kind of like locking her in. So I commented prank back, and prank back by kicking him in the balls, and that was considered violent. But I don't know, I'll still do it again. I would still comment that again. But let's talk about some other Reddit stories that I have been obsessing with over. So this one was posted, there was an update. Okay, so the reason I want to do this one because there's an update. So I'm going to read the prompt, and I'm going to post it probably up here, and that way you can look it up if you're interested. And it says, am I wrong for questioning my whole relationship after I found out my 27F boyfriend 30M was pocketing my rent money? So the story goes that they've been together, her and her boyfriend have been together for 5 years, and they currently live on the property her boyfriend's dad is renting. So I guess it's a property, and it has like 2 units. So one the mom and dad live, and one her and her boyfriend live. And she said that they moved in last April, so it's been more than a year. And she said that when they were talking about like rent and stuff, the dad told her like, the rent is $1,600, so you and your boyfriend you and my son will each give $800, and that will cover the rent. So she's like, $800, what a steal, hell yeah, I'm taking it. So she said that she had a feeling for a while that she was the only one paying rent. So she said she finally got the balls to ask him like, hey, how much do you pay in rent? And that he like basically told her nothing. My dad's covering our rent. And that she was like, well, what do you do with the money I've been giving you for a full ass year? And that he said, well, my dad and my parents really want to help me out, so that money that you give them, it actually pays for my car payment and insurance. And she felt some type of way about that. So now she's questioning her whole relationship, and like she feels like to buy the dad, the boyfriend, basically the whole family, right? And she said that she has them over not multiple times a day, but she has them over like multiple times a month, and like prepares dinner and just hangs out with them. So she thought they were close. So she sees this as like being shady. She did point out that she knows she has to pay rent, so that's not the issue. She just feels icky about it. So she's like questioning her whole relationship, right? So I read the update before I read the full post, and in the update she says, I'm moving out. I got approved for an apartment this weekend, and I'm excited to have space to gain my own perspective and clarity. We're staying together for now, and we'll see how it goes when I move out. So they're still together for now. I don't know why she still wants to be together with him after, I don't know, I feel that he took advantage of her. I just think it's shady, you know, like if he knew that he didn't have to pay rent or anything, like I don't know, I don't like it. I think it's weird that he was pocketing that money, but whatever. So she says, I left off, we're staying together for now, and we'll see how it goes when I move out. I think he sees it as an opportunity for me to regret moving out and come back to him, but I want it to be an opportunity for him to get his life together and build a life with me. I'm aware it's unlikely things will work out how I'm hoping, but I think whether we break up or stay together, Moving out is the best next step. Thank you to everyone who gave me advice and validated how I was feeling. It's a weird situation, and after a lot of therapy and thinking, I'm okay with the fact that I don't have to keep playing a game with the rules I don't understand. So that's all she wrote. So she's moving out. Oh, she did say that the reason he was using her rent money to cover his car insurance is because he's an entrepreneur. So I guess he can't even make that much money on his own. So he was taking it from his girlfriend. So yeah, not the asshole. I really hope she dumps him. Like, what a loser. But yeah. Okay, this one is just weird, okay? So, this one was posted, I screenshotted this on Tuesday, so it's been a couple days. I don't believe there's an update because I've been on Reddit. I mean, I can still see Reddit even though my account is banned. I just can't comment on anything, and it kills me. Because that's the fun part about Reddit, seeing what everyone is saying, and you either, like, agree with them or you don't, but... So this one's saying, am I the asshole for leaving my boyfriend's place in the middle of the night after he locked the bathroom? Okay, so she says, this happened a few nights ago and I'm honestly still weirded out. I, 28F, was staying over at my boyfriend's place. We've been dating for about 6 months. Around 11 p.m., I got up to use the bathroom. I tried the handle and it was locked. I waited thinking maybe he was there, but nope, he was just sitting on the couch. I asked why the bathroom is locked and he says I don't let people use my bathroom after 10 p.m. It's a boundary I have. I told him I needed to pee and he just goes, you'll have to wait until the morning. At that point, I didn't know what to say. I asked him to unlock it, told him this was ridiculous and he stood firm. My space, my rules. She's like, yeah, I left. I wasn't gonna sit there uncomfortable all night. I live like 15 minutes away, so I just packed up and drove home. I didn't make a scene, just said this was too much for me and left. He texted me later calling me disrespectful and that I should have talked it out instead of walking out. My sister said I did the right thing, but one of my friends said I probably made it a bigger deal than it needed to be and should have just stayed and dealt with it. The friend is high. How do you deal? You have to pee. And he doesn't let you use the restroom. Like, what the fuck? Are you gonna go outside like a dog? No, the friend is high and I really hope she cuts off that friend. What do you mean you made it a big deal? You have to use the restroom. Anyway, I'm continuing. I don't know, maybe I overreacted. I can't stop thinking, who locks the bathroom and tells someone to just hold it? That's not normal, right? Am I the asshole for leaving over that? You're not the asshole. You're with a weirdo. And you have a friend who's a fucking weirdo too. Please drop both of them. Yeah. Weird. No update on that one so far. Says, my fiance's friend called me a placeholder and he didn't defend me. She needs advice. I, 28F, have been with my fiance, 30M, for almost 4 years. We got engaged in January, and I thought everything was perfect until we went to dinner with his childhood best friend, Jay. We barely sat down when Jay said in front of me, wow, you really locked it down, huh? I thought you'd keep playing the field until you found the right one. I awkwardly laughed and said, well, I guess I'm the right one then. And Jay smirked and said, we'll see. Okay. I waited for my fiance to say something, anything, but he just shook his head and said, ignore him, that's just how he jokes. I kept it together through dinner but cried in the car. My fiance said I was being too sensitive and feeding into Jay's stupid humor, but it hurt. And what hurt more is that the person who's supposed to have my back didn't say a word. Should I bring it up again, or is this just one of those things you let go? Well, okay, not gonna lie, I am a sensitive girly, so I would have expected my boyfriend, fiance, whatever the fuck, to tell his friends, like, shut up, you don't joke with that kind of stuff. Or to tell him, like, shut up, that's not funny, you know? But I guess he shook his head and said, I mean, he did say something, but he said it to her. He said, ignore him. That's just how he jokes. So I feel that her feelings were hurt, and when she didn't want to make a big deal out of it, but she was uncomfortable. And when she talked about it with him in the drive home and she was crying, he called her sensitive. And I don't think that's how you deal with someone's feelings, especially if they are sensitive. Just, you know, that just makes them cry more. I think in a relationship, for it to be a great relationship, if someone brings out a problem, you try to fix it, and you try to say, oh, you know, okay, I didn't realize that was too much, or I didn't realize that hurt your feelings. Like, yeah, I'll do better next time, not minimize it. So if I were her, I would definitely bring it up and talk about it and see how he responds to that time. If he gets annoyed or he shuts you down, I would reconsider the engagement, just because is this how he's gonna treat every problem that you don't think, that he doesn't think it's a big deal to him, so he's just gonna like sweep it under the rug, even though we all know that tiny little thrashes or tiny little bites or cuts eventually turn into a bigger one. I don't know if I said that. I don't know if you get that, but I meant to say that even though we know tiny little cuts hurt a lot deeper than just, you know, over time. So I just hope that, you know, he like takes her serious, because, you know, marriage is no joke. Having kids with someone is no joke. So yeah. Anyway, thank you for joining. I'm gonna try to do more of these readings like weekly basis. I save them on the iPad and then I just read them. I think they're just like a fun thing. I think next time I'm gonna screenshot some of the funny comments too, that way you can see where people are leaning towards. And yeah, thank you for joining.